Oh, here we are, Monday Morning Live. It's that time again. Morning.
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, Jamaican. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Sean. Good morning, everyone. You know, I always have this thing, and I go through it every single time where I'm like, are we actually live? And I feel like until I can see it on my phone, it's not real. Although, yes, no, it's right there.
Yeah,
it's right there. Yeah, it's real. Wake up this morning.
Yeah. This is a great morning.
It is.
Great, following a great weekend.
A very black weekend.
Father's Day, Juneteenth. What y'all do? What y'all get into? Had a great time traveling across the capital region, seeing all the people come out.
For real.
And this thing, everything this weekend.
Yeah, don't stop yet.
It's a lot of black.
As it should be. We ain't done yet. What you doing?
I got the black on black. Black on black whip, black on black bike. I'm black on black.
Yeah, all of it today. Black King.
One more verse.
One more verse for real.
Hey, make sure you tell Facebook we don't own the copyrights.
We do not own the copyrights to the music
So I
that's
gotta
playing
put that
right
in
now.
words.
I'm probably gonna have to put it in words, like for real. It's not even fair. But we need to start with this kind of vibe this morning. We need to have all of it. All right, okay. I mean, it's only been 2 minutes. It's not like it was a long time.
What up, y'all? What up?
Good morning, folks.
What's happening? Good
Yes.
morning.
Oh, and somebody already said it. And birthday blessings to my baby.
Yes.
Because today, Roman is 4 years old. The protest baby
Big 4.
is 4.
Looking all of 8. Looking like he's 4 times 2.
Okay, maybe 6. He
I don't
might
know.
be the size of a 6-year-old. I actually will
know.
find out this week. He's got his physical.
All those kids in Yak class, how old was that? Because he looks like he rivals some of them. Might give him some trouble.
So Sean's trying to say that my baby, who was only 6 pounds and 2 ounces when he was born, is the size of a 6th grader. No.
Oh, no.
No. A 6-year-old, yes. I am fully expecting that at the physical, well, he's the size of your average 6-year-old, and we really need to worry about his, get out my face with that diet nonsense. He's a tall kid.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's 4, and I mean, you saw him this morning.
Yeah. He's happy. It's his birthday. He's happy. I'm happy for him. He's 4 years old.
Yeah, and it's the first day of summer because he is one of my solstice babies. He is the first day of summer. Malia is the first day of fall. September 21st. Expect her to be all up in your face that day as well, because that's how she rolls. It's her birthday. She's already planning her birthday. We didn't get through Romans. But yes, today is Roman's 4th birthday and got a whole day planned. So to the entire world, this live is pretty much it. And then don't try to reach me. That's it for the day.
Pretty much it for the day on the birthday tip.
I went through a lot to get him here. Shit, I'm taking the day.
Nice. So that being said, weekend.
Yeah.
Weekend.
Happy Father's Day again.
Thank you so much, and thank you for all. Hey, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Yeah.
Much love. I seen a lot of dads, man, this weekend with their kids, man, looking so happy. And let me tell you, man, like there's a serious myth about our community and like the engagement with our young people from the father's perspective.
Yep.
I mean, aside from the fact that we have a society that is perpetually incarcerated and kept in poverty, so many different people in our community, especially fathers, in an intentional way. I love to see that, like, especially like in the real visual sense, man. Like so many fathers getting with their sons, their daughters, whatever. I mean, it's an awesome thing to see, and I'm very, very much appreciate it. And for those that are not fathers that still take on roles, you know what I mean, of fathers for young people, mentors for young people in the community, that's also a significant role to play. And I've seen a lot of that. Not just this weekend, but especially this weekend and riding around. But starting off with Juneteenth, right? So Juneteenth was everywhere. It's a national holiday now, apparently. I don't know if that means we get reparations. Do we get paid for that?
Wait, no. Did I miss a memo?
What? Did you miss a memo about what? About it being a holiday?
Did Biden make it a national holiday?
I mean, that's what I heard.
Can anyone confirm that?
Confirm the national holiday? I could have swore I seen him with a pen and a paper.
We are apparently not up on the national news. I did see a post from someone though, and it might have been Miss Beverly, who said, "How was Obama in office for 8 years as the first Black president and didn't make Juneteenth a national holiday?"
Oh, that's because white people wasn't gonna let him. I mean, the Republicans they wouldn't let that man do too much of anything. Come on, man. I mean, not to say that he was the greatest, but shit, you know how that works.
Tom, always on top of it. Super appreciating you. It was signed on Friday. It was signed on Friday.
I guess the word was good.
Yeah. So, back to your question. So, what do we get with that? How is that not just performative?
I would like a couple checks.
I mean, are we going to get our 40 acres and a mule?
And my mama name, because I owe a couple dollars. Clear the debt. Do something. I need that.
Oh my goodness! You know what he could have done? He could have made Juneteenth a holiday and released all student debt.
That'd have been nice.
Which disproportionately impacts Black folk.
I would have loved that.
That would have been a Juneteenth celebration.
So back to the Juneteenth. So just in thinking about Juneteenth, look, this is Juneteenth.
There's some things
hat.
we gotta say about it.
I bought this from a Black-owned business. This is the Juneteenth shirt I bought from another Black-owned business. I got me some crystals.
You know what?
That I bought from a Black-owned business. I got some candles that I bought from a Black-owned business. I got me a incense holder.
With no incense.
There was no incense. There was no incense holder either. Right?
Wait, what?
Yeah, man. I mean, you know who you are. Send me my incense holder, please. You went to glue a crystal on it. I ain't seen you since. Send that to me. I paid good $5 for that.
There's so much happening this morning. Good morning, Facebook.
Hey, that was a sub at Jayana Monet. Tell her I step it up and give me my incense holder. Stop holding out.
That sounds like a call out.
Anybody know Jayana? I mean, she know what it is. Give me my incense holder. Stop playing. Nah, I got sidetracked. And so let's talk about it. Look. So Saratoga was crazy. Lex, Chandler,
Saratoga
Samara.
was great. It was so many things. I got the first half, you got the second half.
You got the first half, I got the second half?
Because it was like we shared Juneteenth duty on the Capitol District
we did
circuit.
hit it. Yeah.
So I got in Saratoga first.
Mm-hmm.
Me and the Littles, which, by the way, anyone that got to see Malia and Roman this weekend, yes, that's them every day. That's who they are. Got there. There were art kits for all kids.
Yes.
And an entire box just handed to kids for free, markers and paper and little different types of things. I love that my computer wants to do things. We're not going to do that right now. Thank you. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Great. So lots of art supplies, which my two children immediately wanted to sit down and make something.
Nice.
Which, I mean, art is really important to the Black community, so super fitting. There was free food. The cheese pizza went really fast, but thank you to Holly for going and finding cheese pizza for my children. And there was all types of homemade food. It had that real just community vibe with music playing in the background and lots of dogs. Saratoga has a lot of dogs, and they are protest dogs, in case y'all don't know. It is now. Last year I claimed it. I said protest dogs. We need more protest dogs. To fight the
canines. If the canines pull up protest dogs, they gotta fight.
That's gonna happen. They go, they're low like Pomeranians, so I don't think that's gonna work. Anyways, we got there with food and the arts and crafts. My kids made buttons.
Nice.
which Roman was very excited.
Nice.
And also rocks. There were like, you could make rock sculptures and different, it was very hands-on. It was great. And just
Hey, Kevin, exactly. What is a protest dog? It's something that Jamaica just made up.
Protest dog. No, I did make it up on the fly. I made it up last year.
On the fly.
Last year it was on the fly, where in Saratoga, people brought their dogs to the protest, which makes them protest dogs.
Gotcha.
And I want them other places.
Gotcha.
Because I feel like there's a dual
I feel like I can go on a whole tangent about the dogs.
The dogs could be there for protection, but also for care and support.
Yes. There was a little dog that used to come around last year that had like a lion's mane. I love that freaking dog, and I'm waiting for Tori to lose him one day so I can keep him. I love him. Little bitty dog with a lion's mane.
So I left just before
Never
the speakers.
Never seen anything like that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I left just before the speakers began, and that's right when you got there.
Yes.
Because I was heading to Albany when you got to Saratoga.
They didn't have any cheese pizza when I got there. So apparently your kids ate the rest.
Sounds about right.
I pulled up on my bike and I was late because my partner that I ride with, he was late taking care of his duties as a father. So anyway, he showed up later. When I pull up, Lex is speaking. I got to see so many different artists. Alexis, this young person named Alexis has a beautiful voice.
We'll be adding the video to the album later today. We put the photos up yesterday. Yeah,
Samira got it in with her spoken word. Lex, he always does this thing.
Yeah.
Chandler, Adonis, and there was somebody else there that also kicked some artistic kind of some artistic vocals, and I can't remember what the name is, but it was just really a really good time. Lex's mom with the cornbread, Samira's mom with the mac and cheese.
Tracy.
It was a really good time, and we left that event.
I was already in Albany.
You were in Albany,
downtown.
Tell us about that.
So there were multiple locations for the Albany Juneteenth event with the African American Cultural Center in Albany, and South Pearl was blocked off. From the African American Center down to not quite Arch Street, but almost. So I was really enjoying that. And there were vendors with
that far down?
Just about, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just about. There were different vendors and booths and a DJ, right? Because there had to be music, right? There had to be that Black joy. There had to be that celebration. Bought my kids giant ices. Mistake, but it was Juneteenth, right? So, and then I think it was it Orville from the YMCA was walking around talking about there were tours, and said to Malia, "Hey, we're about to have a tour on an air-conditioned trolley." Malia said, "Let's go! Come on!" All I heard was air-conditioned trolley. I don't know what the tour is about, but let's be about it. And we went to the Myers house, which is up on Livingston. If you haven't had the chance, please look it up. Underground Railroad Historical Society. Not completely their name, but the Myers house. They do tours to talk about that history in Albany and the significance and impact that is often whitewashed. And instead, we see statues of Philip Schuyler that's still in front of City Hall. But instead, the Myers, they had free soul food at the Myers house. And also they had some coloring books about Black history, which Malia, again, was like, "Mom, I need 2 of these." And so we got some Black history coloring books, and Roman just was running all over. Which is what the Roman does. What up to CDTA for having the free trolley for individuals. It was late coming back to pick us up.
Yeah, that's awfully annoying.
It was a real issue when you have small children, and I wasn't the only person with children. So that sucked. But so it was multiple locations in Albany with educational stuff, with vendors, with just that vibe of, community. Again, like the thing that I felt no matter where we went was this sense of community and joy.
That's awesome. So I didn't end up going downtown, which, it was too bad I missed that. But I did end up going uptown Henry Johnson hanging out with Community Matters
Yep.
and House of Precise.
Yep.
Now listen, let me tell you something. Juneteenth last year saved my soul, right? Like last year, I was going through a whole lot.
Yeah.
We in the movement, things were happening, and it was really like I was going through some really, really difficult times. And Vakari Fox and others put together Juneteenth in the park that day, and it was like if you go to Youth Effort, I returned there. And I was pleased to see that some of that vibe was still there.
Yep.
And everyone was happy. The vendors, like I said, that's why I ended up getting most of the stuff was there. I ended up getting a lot of my stuff right there. Talking with people, watching the kids run and play, kicking the ball around, soccer ball, throwing a baseball, just having fun with the people, man, with the community.
Yeah.
Right. That's what it's all about. Those are the type of the connections that we need to continue and grow that. Because we are a beautiful people, and we offer so much and have given so much to our community and our society. It's time for us to recognize that even more.
Yep.
And I'm always here for that, man. I had such a great time. Yeah, I see you.
Yes,
See
Vakari,
you,
good morning.
For sure.
And
really dope.
Malia, Roman, and I got there after you because we were hitting all the spots. We were not playing. It was a Juneteenth triathlon or something.
Yes.
And Roman and Malia got to play with other kids, which was all Malia wanted. Mm-hmm. Malia kept going, are there going to be kids? Mm-hmm. And there was candy, and like you said, there were vendors, and there was the music. There was indeed the music, because every once in a while, Roman would do his little head boppy dance, but was running around, and you throwing the ball, and all the kids just running. If there are children, you will see them circling Sean. At some point, that's what's gonna happen. There's just no way that doesn't happen.
I'm a big kid at heart still, man.
Yes, absolutely.
Seriously.
And I got to see folks that I hadn't seen in a while. In particular, I got to hug Brielle. Brielle was there at the Community Matters space, and I was just so happy to see her. And Morgan and Michaela was there, and Samira showed up. Just like so many people. And coming out of COVID, like I was a hugger before. That was already a thing. I don't like people, but I'm a hugger. It's really conflicting. I really am about the hugs now. Yeah. And that ability to like physically connect with people. And I saw LJ, who I probably haven't seen in like 9 months to a year.
LJ was there too.
LJ was there. There was just, and at every spot, there were people that either I hadn't seen in a while, or people I met in this moment. That it's just that real, I remember how we first met. And why we first met, and like being in this fight for liberation and freedom still, right? Because my son Elias said Juneteenth is fake. He said because we're not free yet. He said it's not over, so we can celebrate later. And I did explain to him that one of the reasons we should keep celebrating is because when finally the last enslaved people in Texas were told about the Emancipation Proclamation, it was an opportunity for families to find each other. There were families that had been torn apart, that were scattered, right? Their children were sold. And so they traveled and found each other and had these celebrations of coming together and being community and being with family. And we should celebrate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
While continuing to fight for our liberation and freedom.
Celebration doesn't put a point, right, or a period on what's been going on, but it is something that you have to acknowledge. And the fact that, Union soldiers reached Texas some 2 years and change after, legally, the people could no longer be owned in this country.
Right.
That happened because people fought. That happened, and I'm talking specifically the Africans. Descendants of Africa, those born here in the United States under enslavement, fought, right? They fought both in the streets. They fought in the legislatures. They fought, right? They fought with their minds. They fought with their hands. They fought with their hearts. Like, you gotta understand, when you're talking about enslavement, you're talking about one of the worst afflictions that ever met any people ever in history for as long as it did, because we're suffering the ramifications of that today.
Yes.
Right? So the fact that we were able to fight, that fight brought us to get up, find our families, etc.
Yeah.
You have to celebrate that. And then
Yes.
and we can acknowledge that the fight continues, but you have to celebrate the victories as well.
Absolutely. Which is the same thing we do now, right?
Exactly.
We know that we still have the fight,
everything,
the fight in front of us, but we have had small wins, even over the last year. And some people are like, everything's the same. It's not the same.
No.
One of my favorite things that you say is that we created a culture of protest that didn't exist.
That's right. That's right.
Celebrate.
Yeah. Celebrate that. The expectations are different. So let's slide over to Skinneck, because when I ended up in Skinneck for Juneteenth, man, like I was pleasantly shocked.
I couldn't even
that the crowd was so big in the park.
Yep.
Right? Like, so the Arts Center and NAACP and others, put this thing together and had more Black-owned businesses and had more Black people cooking out and chilling and dancing. And I mean, you see some of the photos I took. Listen, it was so Juneteenth was one of the times where I wanted to take a bunch of photos, but I also want to just enjoy the moment. So the photos ain't the greatest. Like, I really, I didn't take as many as I wanted to.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
But yeah, it was really, really dope to see everybody out there. I seen even old George Boone still on the guitar. So if you look at our page and you see the old man with the guitar, he's been doing that thing since I was a baby.
For a very long time.
And I got to take a picture with Don Juan, who used to actually babysit me back in the day at some point.
Everybody knows Don Juan. Yeah, man. Everybody.
That's from Schenectady, John. If you ain't from Schenectady, you don't know Don Juan.
You don't know, but you should know.
But you should know Don Juan.
You should.
He's a good brother, man. Little weird, little different, but he's Don Juan. Everybody know him. So yeah, I had a really great time. Juneteenth was amazing. Got to ride my motorcycle with a couple of friends. One person I grew up with, another person I met more in recent times. Well, and actually in the protest, I met him at the Occupy. The first time I met Jay was at Occupy. So shout out to Jay. What up, baby? He put a dope picture of him and his son for Father's Day. That was official. I showed you that. But so
you just reminded me of something that's not directly connected to what you said, but I'm saying it anyways. There were all these vendors.
Yes.
And I had talked about it last week. All of us t-shirts are available for sale again. Yes. Because people have been asking for them, and appreciate y'all. The special edition that was created last year that has the saying on the back. Mm-hmm. I just dropped a link in the chat. It's bit.ly 2021 Black AOU shirt. You can sign up for it and pay for it. And we will have them at Black Lives Matter Pride protest. So if you order it now, you can come pick it up at the Black Lives Matter Pride protest, because you should do both of those things. You should get an All of Us t-shirt and come pick it up at the Black Lives Matter Pride protest. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. I mean, Juneteenth and protests just... Yeah, I made the connection. That's where I'm at right now.
No, for sure. We actually probably should. It'd have been nice to have some out.
We just enjoyed it this week.
We did just enjoy it. I really had a good time. I really did.
Yeah.
Father's Day also was nice. I feel like we're running on time.
We are still talking about Juneteenth, but it was just that great. And there is a lot of other stuff to talk about. But I mean, come on, it was Juneteenth.
Yeah,
it's worth the time.
I think so. I agree. But we can't spend all our time on Juneteenth, because we got other things that happened and are coming up.
I mean, we talk about what's tonight.
Yeah, Tom, where you at, Tom? Yeah. Tom, tell them what tonight is.
Tom should
We gotta pull Tom on the screen one of these days.
Oh my gosh, we gotta figure out how to pull Tom on the screen. Because I literally just said to Sean this morning, the reason I'm able to stay up on what's happening with the tear gas ban at the Albany Common Council is because of Tom.
Yeah.
Like, if I am wondering where are things at and I might have missed a beat, Tom
got it.
We'll have all that information. So there is a Common Council meeting tonight.
Yes.
They have their executive session at 6:30, and then at 7 o'clock is when they have their regular meeting. Mm-hmm. You still can sign up.
Yeah.
You can still send an email to be put on the public comment for tonight's meeting. If you're whether you're on public comment or not, you can still watch it on the Albany Common Council Facebook page live. And the other thing to remember always is that if for some reason you're not already on our email list, you can join our email list and you'll get all that information before 12 noon today, so that you have the details. And not only will you join our email list, but you're able to tell us what are the things that you want to be involved in. Is it education? Is it electoral politics? Is it about justice reform and ending, the carceral state that we live in, such as tear gas and all the other ways that policing causes harm in the justice system? You can join our email list, get that email that's coming later this morning, so that you don't have to type it all down and try to write notes or anything. You can actually get that information later. But yeah, Tom, did I miss anything? Is there any other part of, tonight's Common Council meeting that I missed?
I mean, Tom would know. So paging Tom, if you're in there, if you're still there, hit us with some information. Someone said you can request to join our Facebook Live. I would love to see him do that. That'll be dope. Yeah. I know there's, all kinds of gadgets and things. But anywho, yeah. So that's happening. Listen, if you care about the tear gas ban, you're resident in Albany, not a resident in Albany,
county
resident in
well, it's the city.
It's the city.
It's the city. My bad.
Just pay close attention to that. Get on the call. Have your voice heard. The importance of having these conversations is just to make you aware of where you can have your voice heard on these particular issues. We know that people have been flooding these lines.
Yep.
For the Common Council meetings, all in their chat, all on there trying to talk about what's going on and demanding that they have a full ban. Yeah. And there's a lot of the representatives. There's some of them that are actually really against that. So if you really want to make sure there's a full ban, just join the call, make your voice heard, and do not let up.
No.
Remember, they're representatives.
You have time to send an email directly to your representative if you're in the city of Albany.
Yeah.
In the email blast that goes out, there will be a link to the different wards so that if you don't know who your representative is, you can find out who that is. But you also can just email the Common Council in general to be like, hey, I said what I said. There have been, at this point, I think thousands of comments.
Oh, literally, yeah.
Calling for a full ban of tear gas and rubber bullets. Yep. And showing all of the reasons that can and should happen while making it safer in the community. Mm-hmm. That if you're here for public safety, then you would ban tear gas and rubber bullets because that makes us safe. That's where that's at. So that kind of goes right into the electoral stuff, but where are we going? I think that's exactly where we should be.
Perfect spot. Yeah. So primary voting is tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. Mm-hmm. For those that did not get out and participate in early voting, which was from the 10th to the 20th, 12th to the 20th.
Yes.
Was early voting across New York State. You still have time. You did not miss the boat. And for the city of Albany, it's incredibly important.
Yeah.
Because the primary election is often the determining factor of who is going to be your next representative.
Yeah.
It's the Democratic primary. If you're a registered Democrat in the city of Albany, please be sure to do your work. Find out who is running, especially at the ward level.
Yeah.
Is there a representative that, happened to not say the right thing? I'm not doing subs today. There are people running for office. You need to know who's running in the ward that you are sitting in right now as your residents, and get out and vote. If you are not happy with the way things are right now, vote for change. Vote for somebody to be different.
Yeah.
Kathy Sheehan does have someone running against her, Valerie Faust. Mm-hmm. So there is actually a mayoral primary that's happening right now. And if you believe that Valerie is better than Kathy, then tomorrow's your last chance to tell the people that, to tell those in office that you actually want to change. And the same is true from every other ward and district. If you are looking for a change, if you're looking for someone that is far more representative of the people and not the status quo, you've got to get out and vote. Here in the city of Schenectady, I've been talking about it for a minute.
Yeah.
We have a number of races. It is the most complicated I've ever seen. And we have 5 seats for the city council that are up for re-election. Well, 2 of them are vacant seats.
Yes.
To continue a 2-year term for individuals that step down.
Mm-hmm.
And there are 3 people running for those 2 seats. Nope, 4 Democrats running for those 2 seats. It is Halib, Carl, Teresa, and this white woman named Doreen. For the common council incumbent seats, there are 3 seats, and there are 4 people running for them. And the 4 people running are Marion Porterfield, Damani Farley, John Mudavarian, and Karen ZW. You can only vote for 3 people in one race. You can only vote for 2 people in the other. You do not have to vote for the number of seats that are open.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't if you are really trying to get specific people into a seat. Because if you give your vote to someone else, that increases their chances. In the city of Schenectady, it's ranked choice. I am with you, Amy. No to Karen. Do not vote for Karen. Every time you give that vote away, whoever has the most votes gets in. So if someone gets 1,000 votes and someone gets 900 and someone gets 800, those 3 people.
You could be voting against your interest.
You could be voting against your interest.
I hear what you're saying.
It's called block voting. So if there's only 2 people, vote for the 2 people.
Look, there's some really, interesting candidates here in Schenectady, as well as Albany. You got some people that are running that are new, like Stephen Negrona, Albany. You got folks that have ran before for election. Damani Farley comes to mind. Like he almost got that mayoral race, but for his technicality nonsense. So
when he ran for city council last time, the Democratic Party fought him on his ballots. On his petition signatures to intentionally get him kicked off the line instead of just letting it go to the polls and let the voters decide.
And that's the game. That's the game that
they tried again.
That people play. And they did try it again.
Yep.
But Damani Farley's back, running hard. He's all out in the community. Just saw him yesterday at the Community Fathers event out in Jerry Burrell, out there talking with the people. Saw him and all his lovely family.
Did you see any? I mean, him and Marion were there. Were there any other candidates on Hamilton Hill?
No. Right in the community that is most impacted, most impoverished. We saw those 2 candidates, Damani and Marion.
Damani Farley.
It was really great.
Marion
it was really great to see them and to hear like their perspectives on what they want to do moving forward with the city if they get their opportunity to take those seats.
Yep.
So it's nice to see candidates out there in the community. Talking with folks. I mean, I know Damani's right. He's from there, right? So it's not like, and I know Marion lives there.
Yes.
So it's like, like I said, it's really good. Have your voice heard. Voting is tomorrow. Early voting is over, so you can't do nothing today. But voting starts tomorrow. Voting, the actual election, primary election, is tomorrow.
Yep.
Get out, get your voice heard.
And it's
vote
a full long day.
Vote for the candidate that's for the people. Do that.
It's a full long day. The hours are before work.
Shout out Halib too, man. I forgot Halib Samuel, man. Halib was in the park when we did the cleanup.
Yep. Yeah.
Halib showed up there, did the cleanup, and Carl. They showed up there.
Yep, absolutely.
And hung out with us, hung out with the people while we cleaned up Jerry Burrell and the surrounding neighborhood. It wasn't just Jerry Burrell Park.
Yep.
So it was really dope. And I've been in conversation with Halib, and I mean, he just like his perspective. Like he does think deeply about things, and he was really interesting to talk to. So I just wish him and the other candidates luck. I suggest you all take your time tomorrow, have your voice heard in the primary. It is really important to do so, especially in the city of Albany, but definitely here also in Schenectady. And let's not forget the candidates in Troy, because you got Marquita and you got D. Collin.
D. Collin.
So it's like,
D. Collin. Danielle.
Yep.
If y'all ever heard her poetry, it speaks to her politics.
Right.
If you're wondering what kind of representative Danielle's going to be, all you have to do is listen to her words. It's very clear that she leads with a lens of justice and one that's going to uplift the people and create the type of change that gives Troy a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, damn, a chance.
Yeah. I mean, she does. I think that like D. Colin has a great heart and a great mind, and is in position, I think, to really, make the type of change that community needs
absolutely
happen.
Yeah.
On an elected level, right?
Yep.
In a legislative and policy and practice or whatever, it's the right thing to do right now. The city, that area needs it. I mean, we all need it.
We do all need it.
And I'm just glad, I'm glad that folks like D. Colin, like they've taken up the, like you, for instance, took the opportunity, took the chance to be in the public eye and have the responsibilities, right, up to the public on UN education. There'll be in other areas, but it's just important that people do that. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to get it out. I'm bumbling words, but I'm trying to get it out. It's important that folks take the time to do that. Take up that responsibility.
And it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. I haven't even started yet, y'all. July 1st is when I'm officially part of the school board. But what we've said and what I will keep saying is, let me be the first, but don't let me be the last.
Yeah.
And the only way that happens is the same way that I was elected to office. That we stand up and show up. That we actually go to the polls.
Yep.
We can't simply say, oh, my vote doesn't matter. I talked to people about the fact that in the previous school board election, it was 7 votes that determined who was going to be in the seat. And so I had a much wider margin in winning my seat.
Yeah.
Hundreds of votes between me and the next person. Because we showed up and our voices were heard, that we ensured that we were intentional to say, these are the people we want. These are the people we believe in. These are the people we trust. These are the people we know are going to represent us and actually bring our voices to the table.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so we need to do that tomorrow. If you did not participate in early voting, you still have an opportunity to show up. You still have a chance to make sure that there is a message sent to those who are sitting in seats of power right now. We're paying attention. And we're going to show up in every way, in the streets and in the booth. Yeah. We need to do both and again, if you're not already on our email list and you need this information, we need to keep winning. We only do this as a united front, pushing forward, and let's make it happen. We've got a lot to do.
We have a whole lot to do. And it's not, listen, acquiescence, sitting on the sideline is a part of the problem.
Yeah.
Right? So
silence
I understand.
Listen,
I understand that this country has not taught many of us or showed many of us the way to be involved in the community. I grew up, in communities and I felt personally, I don't want to speak for the whole community, I had no connection to any of it. I didn't think my voice could ever really matter as far as this larger thing was concerned. Yeah. Right? My focus was just what was immediately around me.
Yep.
And that also impacted my thought process, right? And how I thought about my world. I understand entirely different now. And I want to make sure, we'll have our political ed workshops.
Yep.
We'll talk about civic engagement. We'll talk about all the ways in which, you can impact your community.
Yes.
Right? If you don't like something that's going on, you do not have to accept it. You do not have to accept that is just the way it is and it won't never change, which I hear sometimes from people still.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll never do this. And there's been a history. Right? And it's a history of learning.
Yeah.
Right? It's a history of learning that has taught them these things, but there's also a history that has also showed that coming out, having your voice heard, can make change happen. It has made change happen.
Hello, Juneteenth.
And we have to continue to do that.
Yep. That's what we're gonna do.
And we're gonna make sure this area stays rocking, man. We're gonna make sure this area keeps coming out. We got organizations all over the place that have stepped up, showed out, has taken the mantle in this iteration, as I've heard some folks say, in this iteration of this justice fight. As intergenerational, those young people are out there in the community. I'm semi-young. I'm out here in the community. You have, older folks that are still showing. You know what I mean?
He's talking about me. Heard. I'm the older folks.
I mean, I actually was talking about like Walter and the rest of them. Like Walter's 75. I see some other people that are a little older. They were at the booths during Juneteenth.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, we have 6th graders here in Schenectady.
Thank you.
6th graders in Schenectady putting together petitions, making demands.
I would love to.
Y'all don't even know what's coming.
Video. I wonder if Yak will let us.
We gotta
show that video on our page. The protest video they put together.
They did
Shout out to the kids in Oneida, man.
Oh my gosh, man. Yes, the Oneida students. Listen, y'all. There are so many names. I am going to give a special shout out to Rain though, because me and Rain had a little one-on-one, and I can't wait. Like, Rain's only in 6th grade. I'm like, whoo! By the time Rain gets to high school, it is on. Y'all don't even know. 6th grade, all the way up through 90 something.
Yeah, my uncle, shout out to my Uncle George, 90 plus years old, had a mind like an encyclopedia. I mean, he passed away just recently, but he was always talking politics and always talking about the way forward. Yep. Really sharp dude, and he talked about baseball a lot, but he knew his politics, and he knew a lot. That fight, but that's what I'm saying. That fight is, it expands, it spans generations. Yep. Right, and everyone's involved.
Intersections.
Yes, intersections for sure.
The one of the reasons that here in the Capital District we have been able to do anything is because we've shown up really as all of us. Intersectional, all the different ways, all the different groups and organizations. And I mean all the different groups and organizations actually working collectively and collaboratively. Not trying to say, oh, this is my thing. No, you can't do that. Because every time that happens, they win.
Look, Amy said we did a walkout at Schenectady High when we was 15. It worked. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Can I just say one other thing before we sign
off?
I'm just saying, this hat, I don't wear hats. First of all, I don't wear hats. You'll see me with the little cap on, covering up the locks or whatever, because I don't like my locks smelling and getting dirty and stuff.
It's the gray hair he's covering up. He's covering up gray hair.
That. I can color it like you do.
I don't color anything. This is all natural beauty.
But yo, check it out though. But I'm really feeling the hat. And I bought this from. I bought this from a black vendor out of Troy. I can't. His name misses me right now. But if you know a black vendor in Troy who does hats, that's him. All right, we talked about it. This brother here that got me the Black King shirt, that's his logo right there, J.E. I don't know exactly what it stands for off the top of my head, but y'all recognize this. Support that business, man. That's it. That's it. We 40 minutes in. I gotta get the shout outs in before we sign off.
This is the first day of summer.
Is it the first day of summer?
It is the first day of summer. My babies are solstice babies.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
I did say that.
I don't be paying attention. No,
he don't be listening to me.
I feel like, yo, you know what's crazy?
What?
I know we got to get out of here, but I feel like it's already been summer because it's already been hot as hell.
Oh, it's gonna be super hot today.
Today is 90 degrees.
It's gonna hit 90 degrees.
Gotta be careful out there.
Last words, because they're important words, because we can't sign off yet if we don't talk about the fact that it's still Pride. It is June. It is still Pride. And you know what hasn't happened yet in Pride? A protest. Mm-hmm. But that's okay, because what are we known for here in Schenectady? Protests. We are. So, Capital District, Black Lives Matter Pride protest. We had the first one last year. Mm-hmm. It was fire. And we're going to be back at Gateway Plaza, which is right across from Schenectady County Community College. We start at 2 p.m. I've been telling people one-on-one when the march kicks off, and I hesitate to say it publicly because I feel like they're already preparing for us. Like, why give the opposition a heads up?
I mean, here's the thing. The march is happening. The march is happening. The rally's going to happen. It's a celebration of Pride. It's an acknowledgement of the history of protest that brought Pride to where it's at today. Yep. And the fact that all Black lives matter.
All Black lives matter.
All Black lives matter.
To pretend as if there have not been LGBTQIA+ Black people this entire time is ludicrous. Mm-hmm. Before there was a name for it, before people figured out labels, like those people existed. And as a bisexual Black woman who has had my own journey, I feel it. I feel it a lot. And Saturday is going to be amazing. I'm so excited. Calypso and More Glamazon will be co-emceeing. And if y'all don't know, truck passing. It's too important. If y'all don't know about More Glamazon and Calypso, drag queens extraordinaire. Whoo! It's just that's half the reason it's showing up.
I seen Morgan. I seen Morgan on Juneteenth. He ready. Cause he ready. That's all I can tell you. He's ready. If you know Morgan, you know what I mean.
Yes.
Like he's all over the place. He's full of energy all the time.
Yep.
He's ready to rock and roll. He's ready to make it happen.
And with a special co-MC, Calypso Breeze. Listen, I see pictures of Calypso and I'm like, help me, Jesus. It's a lot. That's gonna happen. There will be poets. Mm-hmm. Michaela, Samira. I think Legacy and maybe Star.
Okay.
I'm waiting to hear back.
Okay.
Casey is going to drop some bars, right? And also we have Mother Lamia.
Nice.
Is actually going to make a special appearance and speak. Listen. It's going to be amazing. We are going to lift up all the things we need to lift up. We are going to be ensured that there is joy and happiness. And we are going to make sure that there is Black Lives Matter Pride protest.
Facts.
There has to be a protest. That's what has to happen. And so that's what's going to happen because Pride started with a protest with Black trans woman named Marsha P. Johnson and other trans women of color who are shutting shit down in a call to end police brutality.
So date, time, what people got to do?
They need to show up. But the other thing is they can absolutely register. It is on our Facebook page for how to get more information about the Black Lives Matter Pride protest. If you register, you'll be getting an additional email in the middle of the week that gives details about time, place, because there's also going to be a makeup tutorial.
Yes.
Right? So you want to know what time that tent is popping off and what's happening. You know the thing, like join our email list, get all the deets. Those are the things to do. That's the thing to always do because we won. We need to keep winning. It's who we are.
It's who we are. And listen, June 26th, 2:00, right? Be there, be square. I guess that's some corny old person shit, but be there, show up, show your pride, show your support that for all Black Lives Matter, and show your support for the work, show your support for this community because it's these types of action and events that keep this thing going. Keep people involved, keep the focus on the things that we need to be focusing on.
Yeah.
And you'll hear a lot more from us about, the event and other things moving forward.
And like Tom said, we need to ban tear gas tonight. We need to go vote in the primary tomorrow. And we need to have a Black Lives Matter Pride protest on Saturday. Tell your friends, bring your friends, make it happen.
Peace.
Laters.